Well, I really believe that as you get into the Word, so my book has the devotions in the front, there's a study guide in the back that is full of Scripture. Each devotion has 2 pages of Scripture for you to look up, either write the Scripture out or what God is showing you in those Scriptures. And I just believe that you can't get that much Scripture in you and keep it in. It's going to begin to flow out of your life because it's going to overflow out of you. And that's the way to do it, is to get so much of His Word in you, it'll just begin to flow.
What are some examples of dry times that you've identified in the Scriptures?
In the Scriptures, I take a look at, it starts off with the life of Hagar and how she was so desperate, the situation she was put in by Abraham and Sarah, and so hurt and wounded. And though, she ran to the desert. When the desert is a better option in your life circumstance, it's pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I start off with her looking at the Israelites. It's really almost a journey of the Israelites through the desert as they cross the Red Sea. They're in the desert for 40 years wandering, and God miraculously provides water in the desert, and that's what He does for us. It's what He did for me through my struggles, and what He does for all of us and desires to do as they go through the Red Sea and get into the Promised Land, and as we're moving forward in life, and God begins to flow through us.
So some spiritual refreshment is your intent here, water in the desert, and it is a collaborative effort. Sherry, you have written the content in the book, but you also have some art that has been integrated. You don't find that in devotional books very commonly. And on top of that, the art provided by none other than Todd Stahl, your husband. So
it doesn't get any better than that.
There you go. So you are an artist, and of course you've also written a devotional book. Tell me about what you brought to this Water in the Desert book.
Well, yeah, I was able to provide the art for Sherry, and it was a time that it came perfect because, that's what I enjoy doing. That's what I love to do. And so Sherry had some visions of what she was really hoping to achieve in the book. And I was more than happy to be able to get down to getting in my own cave and doing my art for Sherry's book. And it's just a great feeling to be able to do that together as a couple. And it's an even better feeling to be able to use your talents that, God gave you and provide exactly what Sherry was looking for in the book. So it was a fun combination, and it was a rewarding thing to do.
And you lent some of your own art into a devotional book called 40 Days in the Man Cave, which you wrote as well. We'll talk about that coming up here as this edition of The Meeting House continues on Faith Radio. More coverage of the International Christian Retail Show in Orlando. Well, you are listening to The Meeting House here on Faith Radio. Todd and Sherry Stahl have stopped by the Faith Radio Meeting House Broadcast Center here at ICRS 2015, and they have written devotional books. Sherry has written Water in the Desert, and Todd has written 40 Days in the Man Cave. So tell us about this whole concept. When you think about a man cave, I mean, there are certain images that come to mind. So what's your man cave like?
Well, my man cave is no doubt a big TV, comfy couches, full of my art and inspiration. My son and I love sports and different things like that. So it's definitely a guy's cave. We love that place. But yeah, like you said, man caves are places that guys love. It's the buzzword right now. But the main thing in the book for me that instigated that was the fact that I love to spend time in my man cave doing devotions. And for me, the morning time is the perfect time for me to kind of re-energize and rejuvenate myself. And so the premise of the book is to spend time in your cave, but make sure you save a spot on the couch for God.
Oh, that's very nice. A good image there. So what are some of the topics that you deal with?
Well, you know what? The cool thing about it is because I'm a firefighter, I've included some stories in there about firefighting, different aspects of firefighting. Don't go it alone. Don't try and be a cowboy. Sometimes in our department, it's always a team thing. It's a brotherhood, and that's what I want to include. So things about, brotherhood, sticking with the Lord, following His lead, and don't do things on your own, and topics of everyday life.